Oh, I'll tell you what we have here. This is February Leather Wars of this year. So hello guys, this is We Heart Leather 3 and now we are on the map Infinite Isle. Series of the February Leather Wars. So this is between on the left side Red Empire, this is Edvin. And on the right this is GreenAlert playing most unfortunately as Empire, no Soviet play this time. So let's see how the things are going to work. Because after all, this is a mirror match. So as you can see, what we can expect in a mirror match is a burst drone attempt, snipe a collector, that's the first, loss of inventory, and tangled blobs. That's usually what you get when you are watching a game that has so much of... Okay, so burst drone attaches on the Stojo core slowing on its track. Not anymore, I think it's directly going for collector, and Edvin it seems like invested in collector sniping. I don't know. This dojo core is very close in the ranks. Even selling the dojo course, so how are you going to stop this anyway? I think. I think this threat has been neutralized. So speaking of some of the games, first of all, guys, I am quite humbled and actually quite happy with what happened. The first thing is the game that I uploaded titled as Allies Late Game Be Like actually garnered 1,000 views, which is a massive spike. I really didn't expect that much of success from that video itself. I mean, it's now sitting on the top, and I really don't know how it is happening. Also, I can't really understand how Edwin is missing two Imperial Warriors to one of them. But anyway, I'm trying to experimenting it like to see what you guys really like the most. Like for example, could it be thumbnails, the content itself. I love the games, but somehow it is the least expected one usually. So first of all, I really like to thank you for that. That was a bit like I get excited. Like whoa, it's going to 1,000 views. All right, let's cook. Finally, we see the 4 digits, and I'm quite humble. I mean, I really don't expect 5 digits in Red Alert 3 scene at this point. I mean, if there's something marvelous happens, maybe. I mean, if like a defibrillator shock for the RTS scene, that may be possible. But until then, I really don't expect anything. So 600 credits for these collectors, but at this point, if I were admin, I may try to at least damage this one to prevent the mining and force a repair run. And speaking of the Tengus, right now he has obvious advantage in terms of numbers. He's now hightailing two of the Tengus, but letting it go, I don't know. On the meantime, Greenella tried to do some engineer shenanigans, but at least he granted himself a free vision over the mecha base, so he will know what Edwin is going to produce. But if you're playing as an Empire, you really don't need to have this kind of an info. I mean, you can easily anticipate that your opponent is after making as much as Tengu they could hands-on. So speaking of Tengus, now we get to see lots of Tengus on the skies, but still like no kind of engagement whatsoever. There's one Tango outlying around to try to find and get the scout down. Well, that's not too much of a commitment for a single scout. But anyway, any unit is not, like for example, functioning is good when you are playing, especially if it's your opponent. You can never know or never realize what's going to happen. Greenanother letting go one of his Tengus for a harassment run or maybe a distraction. We don't know right now. Greenalert is... Oh, okay. So opening has been found. Walls are being cancelled by Edwin. Very nice move, actually. I think this is a retreat fall, if you ask me. I mean, if you're going to force take down... Okay, very good walls are also once again being enacted. So that's actually nice. One collector is already down. Unfortunately, the second one, if it's going to... If this collector also goes down, this will be shut down. Right, so... Edwin, you have lots of tangos. You got to use them. And this is 3 tangos already. Okay, so 7 tangos in total. So you got to do something, otherwise, well, you will lose this game. In the long run, you lost 2 of your collectors, so that's not the best you can do. Now, all of the tangos suddenly landed down. These tangos can actually do some damage over here. Maybe you can take down the Mecha Bay. That's an opportunity, but you have to entirely focus on it here. MCB, I think it's going to join the fray, which is a very reasonable move, but it is getting body blocked by its own. Now, Edwin trying to make the assembly form in a column. We're going to force the MCV to be occupied. I don't know. or chipping some damage to the mecha bay is something as well. One Tengu goes down, second Tengu also goes down, the third Tengu almost there. Now MCV once again unpacks and try to do some repairs, dealing damage to MCV. Oh, finally. If this Tengu gets crushed, I will be severely disappointed with the Edvin. Now, Edvin is not mining because he's trying to build... Okay, his soul is mecha bay as well, so this is it or else. Now Tengus are trying to deal as much as damage with suicide explosives, and numbers are getting dwindled. MCV is already half of HP, but now the numbers of the Tengus are getting equal because after all, GreenAlert still has the means of production by means of collector and a mecha bay. Meanwhile, Edvin has absolutely nothing. At this point, I will even try to move my MCV over here because this is all in a most basic sense. Oh no, also point defensors are now both simultaneously online, and now Edvin, instead of using this Tengu's suicide explosive, is actually running them away. Why, Edvin? You could actually move them closer. Also going for the jet mode at this dire situation, I don't know. GreenAlert tried to sneak the Mecha Tengus inside, and whoa. What kind of strategy is this again, Edvin? Now, I mean, you lost advantage at this point. You lost your last Tengu, and I think a bit of panic at this point. But of course, what could you do? What could anyone do at this point? Maybe he could take down the generator first to force a low power that will severely restrict the amount of units that GreenAlert can pump out during the combat, doubling time, the production time. But anyway, GG for him. And GG for the GreenAlert. Let's see what the things are going to unfold in the next game. So it's been since that we get to see some different maps, especially for the 1 versus 1. We are on the Cabana Republic, and now this is Edvin. Unfortunately, he suffered a defeat in the previous game, but hopefully he will make things even, perhaps. Now, GreenAlert is going for 3 dojo cores, and the same is almost being played by the Edvin himself as well. Okay, no, the only difference is there will be one more extra dojo core is being produced by the GreenAlert, and you know what is this dojo core is up to do. Shenanigans, one we always like. As long as it's not going to happen to us, it's fine. Otherwise, it's fun to watch. But as you can see on the previous game, I mean, for the Empire Mirror games, it's always up to taking down the Collector or the Mecha Bay, because at that point you will get yourself a severe advantage. Like, the game will snowball itself, which is not a very favorable thing to have in a game, but again, this is an Empire Mirror, so at least it can be tolerated in that manner. For example, we get to see more annoying stuff in a Soviet Mirror. For example, rushing a war factory and then spamming as much as sickles you could, and then try to suicide yourself to take down the Collector. On Allies, we get to see lots of peacekeepers are being produced. Just for, like, for example, expanding on the map. That should be fine. And usually, whoever makes the first move on the Allies gets to lose, because Allies do like to play some counterplay. They have unit variety, and they are very strong on defense. Whoa. So, imagine living in this kind of an island. Like 3 palm beaches out there. You have a barracks, so I wonder, is it going to make some engineers? Because if so, that would be insane. Okay, getting burst drones. Is it going to be a collector snipe once again? But Mecha Bay is getting online. Okay, I think this is going to be a collector snipe. Oh boy. Even double walls are there. Oh no. Edvin, pay attention. Oh my god. Edvin! He's repairing the refinery. I think he's not he's not used to selling this wool, the outlying of the refinery, to get them access to repairs. And also caging your own Tengus is something. Now, in the meantime, we get to see burst drones around on the Tengus simultaneously. And also, how much damage does Burstones of fire. Whoa, did you build a refinery that quickly? I mean, good thing is you have 2 oil derricks, so that's actually nice. But oh, come on, there's absolutely no way you can pay this. Now, still you have the positive side. I mean, you get to have 1 more refinery. Let's just say you try to be very greedy and stop at 4 refinery-ish build and got punished. Hopefully the punishment ends there. Also, I really like this game. I mean, of course, you usually use it for like point defense drone using, because units do actually collide with each other, stack in the same spot, so you can actually point defense drone on everything. Speaking of everything, unfortunately, Edvin is losing everything that gives him money in this game. Now that's oh no, that's going to be terrible. But Tango is down already, and the second one's older than half HP. I don't know why would you chase some infantry. I mean, a unit that carries infantry. This is not a bullfrog, it's saddle transport. So why would you chase a Riptide or Southern Transport filled with infantry in a map that has lots of garrisons? Well, I wouldn't. So Tengus are going to glide around the top base of the Edvin, but here's the issue. I think in any point, if GreenAlert commits an attack by bringing his Tengus down and by properly body blocking, he could actually snipe all of the Tengus of the Edvin. All he needs to do is force them go down.
No way!
GreenAlert is being careless, losing 2 Tengus already, and now Tengu dogfight is happening, but now forcing the retreat. More Tengus are dying out actually. There are 4 Tengus and oh no. GreenAlert is actually taking another one on low HP. Now point defense drones on the Edvin comes out. Actually very beautiful move, sniping also the sudden transport in a moment. Or okay, he didn't say that one. Okay, not using the ability on it. But now GreenAlert is a bit careless and losing so much Tengus even before at the fight. Like he couldn't micro the units properly to even out the skills, and now he is trying to evade this combat because his forces are now exhausted in a great shape. I mean, you have only 4 Tengus and half of them already in low on HP. Now he's trying to outmaneuver them for some reasons, but Edvin, if you are seeking a moment to strike, this should be it. Like landing down over here will definitely get you win this game. You have insane advantage on the numbers of the Tengus. Now some of the Tengus are landed. I think GreenAlert wants to save them, but Edvin just oh no. A beautiful split from the Edvin actually. He is splitting his forces, not landing all of them, so GreenAlert could not evade it. But now he is going to lose his last Tengu as well. But MCV has been sold, and you get to see Southern Transport, so this will be the last resort of the GreenAlert as well. An excellent start, but follow-up was not very good. The only issue is this Mecha Bay could really use some walls on the behind so it can be captured. But I think this specific wall segment sell-off is to prevent that. Like in case, oh, okay, so we are also tier. The main reason is actually very simple. In case, if I get to see some engineer plays that I can, instead of panicking, do not sell my wall, I can sneak my Tengus for units there. So Edvin is suspecting an engineer attempt, I guess, because he is moving his MCV unpacked state and not leaving a Tengu in the base is a bit criminal. Now tsunami tanks are being poured to the base, which is quite nice. It will be cause a very good distraction. Now Edvin is summoning all of his forces back. Now Tengu is steadily moving in. Let's see if he's going to make the capture. Oh, poor Edvin. So, oh my god. 2 tier 2 mecha base. Okay, instant base is sold. And the trouble is not over yet. It's going to be over yet. Now, once again, advantage is going to shift between players. I can easily say that. In terms of advantage, in GreenAlert will eventually get the advantage because right now Edvin doesn't have a mecha bay, so he doesn't have a production. On the meantime, in a very long term, I think GreenAlert may lose this because he doesn't have the MCV now, so he has to use his cash boost right now or never. But well, here is the other thing: if this could work, and if so, it would be great. Now, in terms of a base race, I really don't think GreenAlert can withstand because there are some Tengus, he can easily deal damage, but other thing is, if Edwin could unpack his MCV and try to run away, that would be much more better. Now, VX are focused on somewhere else. In the meantime, okay, no VX is... Okay, there is actually one VX is there, so that's actually bad. Now, some tanks are dealing some damage, but Edwin, please move them next to the Mecha Bay. Okay, whatever you do, do not lose this VX, trust me. You need them to destroy the wolves. Oh, come on. Right, this... Oh, okay, trading off as well. But you have only one tank attacking. Okay, so I think execution-wise, not going to work. Edvin has... Oh, he has his refinery online, so that's something. Come on, this... Oh, Edvin, come on. You really had your chance. Right, you took down the Mecha Bay, but... Oh, that's... Why did you go in there? I mean, he didn't really recently shifted his reaxes to the Striker reax. They could easily go... I'm sorry, they were in Chopper reax. They can easily go back to Striker mode. I don't know, what are you exactly doing? Like, you are going here and I'm coming back forth? Like, why? I think he's panicking right now because really thinking that, oh, what should I do? My last building is suffering damage. Okay, there's also one building. Tengus have arrived and, well, they die for nothing. Really expected Edvin to at least score this game. Yeah, had a chance, but that engineer snipe fortunately turned the things in favor that he doesn't like it. Well, let's see how we even aim. Come on, Edvin, I'm rooting for you. Get a score. You can do it. Now we are on the battle-based beta, and unfortunately this is a mirror match again. So green out as always, green playing as an Empire, and Edvin is going for the... He's sticking with his red Empire plays as well. And on top of that, he is even sticking to his gameplay of 2 Dojo Core opening as well. Remember that the 3 Dojo Cores of the GreenAlert granted him a significant advantage of Collector Snipe on early game. So maybe you need to adjust your strategy, you know? That could work. And time to time, when you are going to adapt your strategy, adapt the strategy of your opponent, that alone can make you win the games. Because time to time, when you defeat your opponent with a one strategy, you will tend to use the same to defeat it. Because after all, you know that, okay, this worked. The chances are really high that I'm going to follow the same. If I follow the same footsteps, I will get the same result, which is practically quite true. If you do something and it yields the same result, it will yield the same result again. So what you get to do here is adaptation by changing your strategy way too often. Of course, not in a manner like if you don't know what you're doing, your opponent also doesn't know what you're doing stuff. I mean, build orders matter in this game. For example, right now we see some infantry, I mean, not even some, a reasonable amount of infantry investment over here. For example, we don't get to see the same by the Edvin doing to the GreenAlert. Like right now, this oil rig is going to I think this is a good moment to strike here, GreenAlert. Because otherwise these Imperial Warriors are going to clean and okay, finally he's launched attack. Now this is what I can say about the adaptation. Now unfortunately this attack has been turned out to nothing. So GreenAlert is left with the waste of 900 credits for the tank busters that he has spent to. Even selling off the dojo core, not barracks. Um, right, Tengus are being produced as expected. Also, this time, Edvin going for the defender core. This is actually nice because oftentimes when you play in this game, placing a sentry gun, defender VX, or multi-gunner turret usually works very well because it usually covers both of the refining points. Like as long as you leave these entrances, that should work for you. But of course, that's not going to work if you're low power. So one of the most interesting thing in this game is like, for example, sentry gun requiring power. Of course, it's a gameplay mechanic, but do we really need a conscript in a machine gun nest to fire a machine gun? Needing power, like, right, comrade, zap me in. I'm going to target that. Also, what is this power plant placement? We're asking GreenAlert to go for balloon bomb or the suicide squad ability to use it. Now, Edvin is actually suffering the micro of the GreenAlert because he get pinned out and unfortunately not even use the numbers that he had. But now he has Defender VX, so things should be fine for now himself. Numbers wise speaking, I can easily say I think only difference is one tango between both of our players. But for production wise, GreenAlert is spending much more cash compared with Edvin. So I'll do the opening. Oh, landing down just for taking one Imperial Warrior. Also now Edvin has landed down as well, but right, you get one for hightailing it, not that bad. But be careful, these maneuvers can be quite dangerous. You get to move them properly, otherwise you will suffer the suicide damage. Also, whoa, the amount of dedication that GreenAlert gives to tank bosses is insane, despite that losing 3 of them before. Also, I really don't know why he is not using sudden transport. After getting this much of tank busters, I think sudden transport would work a lot. And eventually, I mean, it is very good countermeasure against Empire itself, because you will rely a lot on the Tengu. So, when that tells you, just get yourself some anti-armor and you will win the game. So, well, Edvin knows. I mean, I'm sorry. Edvin knows nothing about the GreenAlert, but now GreenAlert knows that Edvin is going. I mean, he's going for dive in into his base. Now Tengus are caught and forced to land off. One Tengu gets sniped. Right. So, if you could keep calm, you can probably go back because you just get what you wanted. You get the second Tengu for free. Okay, take down the generator. That's also a good move. If you could snipe it down, that would be a great move. Now, you know the Tengus have. You know the Tengus are now heading to your base, so stop wasting your time with the MCV perhaps. You don't even have a tsunami tank. Okay, fine, very good. Oh, this tank buster is dealing damage. And also, Edvin, you have no idea how much time you're wasting with this MCV. It's going to get itself free repairs. Trust me, I mean, whatever you want to do, it's not going to be worth it. Okay, this is the 4th tank buster that GreenAlert has lost, unfortunately. Also, please replenish your walls. You have MCV. Now, MCV, unfortunately, losing so much damage. Both defense drones are on, and Edvin just gets himself the Q for the going back to base. Partial amount of damage has been dealt, so that's actually nice. Half of the HP was already down, so in case Edvin goes for any kind of suicide attack, the MC will definitely go down. Unless GreenAlert repairs it in like maybe a minute or something, or feeds an engineer into the construction yard. So, also Chopper VX, I mean, not that bad, but they are made of paperclip when they're fighting, I mean, when they're suffering damage from the Tengus on the skies. So heavy micro is required. I wonder if... Okay, so here's the other thing. This... Uh-oh. Now this... Like a reaction... Oh! I think this is a big mistake coming right up from the GreenAlert. Now he will definitely, I think at this point he will lose his MCV. Or another instant generator, I don't know. His mobility is now terribly struck. And then just take down the generator. Be mindful of your Tengus as well. Right, I think it would be much more better if you go back. Or just try to snipe at least one Tengu and then head back to base. Tsunami tank is online. Edvin, there's a tsunami tank. You can't contest that one. And when you try to do some shenanigans, I am quite happy with that. Whoa, right. MC is very low on HP, but again, we're not going to work. I'm sorry for that. What are you trying to do here? Oh, so when did you get your tsunami tanks and when did they come here? Edvin is really investing in this two-pronged attack, but again, also please take down the soldier. I mean, slowly this MCV losing more health, and GreenAlert realizing that, oh, okay, so third refinery, fine, but realize that please don't go over here. That will be very difficult to defend. He's going for the high ground refinery spot. Are we going to see the same kind of investment from the Edvin? Sorry, my phone is running. But last time you get yourself chopper VXs, but that didn't really work out. Okay, GreenAlert also has its own chopper VXs. Now, tsunami tanks are called apprehended. Oh, okay. Lost. Now you see, as it has been repaired, so all of your efforts and micro just unfortunately go wane. But eventually you force your opponent to spend 500 credits, so that's still a goal. Now, only thing is remaining that if Edvin spots this refinery, it will be a difficult thing to defend for the GreenAlert side. So we could deal some damage to force. Oh, okay, so tech buses are being fed over here and taking free damage here as well. Striker VXs are now fighting against the chopper VXs, and they're going equal, but now that was a type of like suicide, go in and then press F for the go for the land mode for the GreenAlert Tengus. Unfortunately, Edvin cannot really establish a good grip on GreenAlert. Also, I wonder if he has spotted. Well, he didn't spot this, so if this goes
VX,
long,
all systems
he
green.
will slowly lose advantage that he had. Also, going for a combined army when you're playing as Empire, I don't know. For example, you can either go like Tsunami Tanks plus, I mean, Tsunami Tanks and Tengus, Tengus and VXs, or VXs and Tsunami Tanks, but getting 3 of them, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't do that. Finally, he spots the refinery, so he knows what is up. Now, 1 VX gets sniped in trade of 1 Tengu. This is not going to work this time, I think. Do not go all of them on the land. Let's leave some of the Jet Tengus in case he has Striker VXs that you know. Now, speaking of the Tengus, we have some Tengus here as well, but oh. Quickly intercepted, that's nice. Now, Edvin gets himself a 3rd refinery, that's also nice as well. Okay, you don't know if there are tank busters over here, so Edvin, they call. Just escort your refinery core as it should be. It should be gained. So 3 VXs, handful of the Tengus. Let's say I estimate like 12, now 13 Tengus out there. For the Edvin's side, I think he has more Tengus, that's for sure. Okay, stand still so I can count it. Not going to work, I guess, but well, that's a lot of Tengus, so I wonder what's he going to do with them. Oh, okay, so I think we're going to engage in a fight. Yes, indeed, we are going to engage in a fight.
No way!
I think in an... Oh no, Edwin now caught terribly. And he's losing Tengu slowly. Edwin, I got to give you that. The moment that you have advantage, you unfortunately cannot evaluate it properly. Now,
Running!
Emperor's
Catch
Rage is being
me!
used, but
You'll
it gets this much
pay!
of
You'll
I don't know.
pay!
Use it. Hey, at least you take down this... I mean, garrison. In case if ever GreenAlert tries to use it. Now, unfortunately, no anti-air. Only slimy tanks you have. I don't know. Set it off. Could I see Euro try to wall it off? So, are you getting any kind of striker react soon? Now, the only solace is that GreenAlert has 3 slimy tanks. So, in tank battle, you would win. But now you have to deal with the striker reacts. And also, this retreat just easily tells you that, hey, you know what, I'm going to snowball this game. Also, walls are being built over here, so no more harassment and going back to the docks from the admin side as well. I think if GreenAlert is not going to end this game, this will be a nano... Okay, he's getting binary again. I really don't know if that is necessary. I mean, after all, Edvin just... got a Tango reset. Now, GreenAlert is suspecting that this refinery spot is occupied. But instead of mobilizing most of your forces, you can send one tango, you know. At this point, Edvin doesn't have an amount of the tango to respond to that threat. Also, this Imperial Warrior dies in shame. Yep, he's going to troll it. Yep, he's going to do it. Oh, come on. Just go and end the game. Why would you do this? Collector is now... His court is just successful for the Edvin. Now, why would you get a generator core if you are not going to get a sign of decimator, you know? Edvin is now forming a line of defense of combined forces of striker reacts and slimy tanks. I mean, not that bad, but you may need a bit more slimy tanks than the striker reacts because Tengus, when they dive in, they will try to, for example, snipe your striker reacts. So you should definitely have some reserves in case of anti-air. And oh, color me surprised. Decimator core. Edvin, you get to do something. And even GreenAlert is not deploying his decimator core. I think he wants Edvin to see this. Like, hey, I have this one, but I'm not deploying, so you know. Why are you forcing your opponent to tap out, like, instead of getting your victory condition by demolishing all of the buildings, you know? Ah, okay, so that's the trick, I guess. Gets a nanostorm high and the sign of decimator at the same time. So Edwin is now going for in a bit little of offensive, taking down the civilian structures. Oh, also Kingoni. I think this Kingoni alone can handle this army. Now, Nanostorm 5 has been completed, and Sign of Decimator is also being completed. And then your striker reacts. Now we get to see some slight skirmishes, but again, I mean, there is a king going over here, so I don't know what else Edvin can do. Oh, right. 2 and 3 tanks get crushed. Not that bad, actually. Now striker reactors are trying to take some damage from these chopper reactors, so we will see who's going to get victorious. Well, out of the fashion, could you look at that? I mean, Emperor's Rage kicking off and taking down all of the Tengus and striker reactors of the Edvin. So, a bit of anticlimactic difference response, I have to say. Now, Who is the true follower of the Emperor? I think at this point is Edvin, but from the results, I can easily say GreenAlert. And also, so many tank bosses are over here to deal some damage against these slow slimy tanks and army of it. Okay, this is fast. The only issue is we have add insult to injury, Wareforce Artery, and I don't think Edwin has anything to snipe this down. Oh, in a sudden moment, this striker reacts, dodge the death. I mean, dodge the death of a... Don't move like that. Could target, multi-target most of your units. Best thing is, from the looks of it, these point defense throws are making very good wonders because they can absorb this, excess damage. Very good move coming from the MCV to protect his Waveforce Artillery, which is very nice. But Edwin, we're going to suffer from the tank busters. MCV once again deployed. Where's your MCV? Do you sell it? If so, that will be quite unnecessary. Okay, so... okay.
Who has awakened me?
So at this point, I think very safe. Gogans. Whoa, I'm getting actually very rusted. Like, when did you get yourself a Imperial Ghost? Those are insane stick, swerve all this. Slimy tanks to the Dreadnought. And not the Dreadnought, what I'm saying is Shogun. Okay, so there's also Yuriko here. The kudos to Edvin is to try to play. And I think instead of waiting 3 more minutes, GreenAlert wants to end this game once and for all. So, Edvin trying to get some high ground advantage as if that is going to make any difference. Oh, just fire for real. And why would you use Nanoswarm Hive in a condition like this? Do you want to pacify Edvin without him retaliating properly? What difference then? Ooh, Thing Bull Rush. Taking down 3 tanks each other. Now Striker VX is going for the Chopper VX is go. Striker VX is go for the Chopper mode and taking down the Kingonis. And we still, the Tengus are not still joined in the battle. Oh, would you look at that? The snipe. Insane snipe. Even Yuriko's so amazed with that. Like, oh, you just played by life. Well, what else can be said, right? Unfortunately, Edwin could not evaluate or let's say give the worth of this advantage that he had. Instead, GreenAlert turned itself entirely for his own advantage, and well, that's it. Congratulations for the GreenAlert. So let's see. The continuation of this series, I think it's going to be a little bit more funny. You will see why. I mean, let's get back into this one and only. The true map of our hearts. This is Infinity Isle. Now, you know who is this guy. This is Alan Tay playing as a light blue. And now, this is Blue Allies. This is the final boss of the Red Alert 3. This is Never Cheese. This is Andre. This is the final boss. So let's see how Alan Tay is going to fare away against the final boss in this game. Like, think about it. I don't know if you played any kind of arcade classics, for example, Streets of Rage or something like that. You get to know if you played it well, at the end of the game, you meet the bosses. At the end of the boss, all of the bosses, you get to meet the final boss of this game, the Master X, which is insanely difficult and somehow in this universe, the only bad guy that is holding a gun against any kind of enemy. But nevertheless, it is insanely overpowered character and it's very difficult to defeat it unless you cheat. That's something different, by the way. So I think that's why I really like this name for the Andre. I mean, he is not invincible, he's not undefeatable, he can be defeated, but that will take some effort. So speaking of the effort, right now we see a quick airfield opening coming right up from the final boss, and I think this will be either a seaport or another refinery. Okay, we get to see a little bit more balanced opening. From the Alvin side, he gets a defender reacts, very defensive investment, I have to say. He is try to move in with his dojo cores, but I think that by the time the dojo core deploys in, it will be destroyed. Three indicators are out. So this infantry push is going to only tire the fingers of the final boss. Dojo core gets eliminated. Another one is just coming right up. So what are we going? Okay, engineer is out. Okay, nice move actually. Getting observation post, that's something. Getting these neutral buildings is nice. The first thing is the final boss did not get himself a barracks, so he can't really recapture it before you can take some advantage of this observation post. Now, for some reason, this oil derrick is insanely contested. Like, amount of the dojo cores are being fed to this pit of this sacrifice. Uh, is a great amount. And I think, yes, I think the final boss can't keep up with like taking down the dojo one by one. Right, this is it. I mean, either you get to have the 10 seconds to get this oil derrick or not. But on the meantime, a final boss is chill actually. Like going for like 3 refineries, he says, fine, just take the oil derrick. I don't care. I'm getting my own refineries. Alvin is also getting his 3rd refinery as well. So that is going to give him an insane economy advantage. I mean, he has now 4. Yep, exactly. 4 refineries, all full placement for Mekabe. I mean, have just sell the defender core by the way. So he deployed the defender core only to sell it afterwards. Okay, so happy hours are over. So he's going to take down the oil derricks one by one. And also, interesting enough, he is taking Alvin's oil derrick first rather than his own captured oil derrick. So maybe he is considering taking this away. On the meantime, a bit questionable reactor placement because the javelin can, I think, lock on over there. The high L. Oil derrick is down. So, whoa, that's a lot of Imperial Warriors. When did you get them? Tengu is trying to make it over, but that's you're going to make it. Right, wolves. The wolves are going to be breached. Okay, they are breached, and now they're dealing damage to the airfield. But I think the threat has been addressed properly. Even MCV just says, "Okay, no, I don't need to crush them anymore. I can go back to top and then expand my 4th refinery." Now Dolphin is dealing some damage on this collector, and Dolphin is an insane harassment unit, come to think of it. Alvin tried to remove his collector to prevent any kind of splash damage to refinery, but nevertheless he sold it out. So yeah, that's what you get eventually if you do not scout. Also, second airfield is online. For some reason, he is keeping the seaport intact. Usually, when for example, high tier allies players get their Riptide or Dolphin or whatever they want to have, they conclude that is enough and then sell the seaport immediately for excess power and some 500 cash boost. So Tengus are trying to do harassment, but again, okay, fine. Indeed, he is going to take down his recapture his oil derrick. So that's the reason I think he did not take it down. So for the insane economy advantage Alvin has, he has really less amount of units on the field. Right, he is tier 2, but I mean, good for you, I guess. Right now you don't have any units on the field, so you can be locked down with the Vindicators. And this refinery is almost dead, with the collector is being dead as well. So as long as you see Vindicators gliding on top of you, at least you can move your collector away from the ore refinery exit point, so you can prevent the splash damage at least. I mean, save the building at least, you know. So, I mean, bombing run. Okay, very nice. One Vindicator goes down, second one survives. Also now Javelin's sniping down this observation post. I think Andre could capture this observation post as well. I mean, not that he is going to use it for enemies, because it's just one upholder. By sitting over here, can see the entire view of the base. Just kind of, when you think about it, it's an insane advantage. Now, you know that you dealt a good amount of damage over here, but there are some refineries over here too, Andre, so you could take down. Okay, so okay, one is down, the second one taking damage as well. So maybe I will probably do the opposite of it. Like, for example, freeze this one and then direct my Vindicators over here. But I don't know. He is the boss, so I would not question it. Alright, speaking of the boss, I think Andre is got bored and wants to end this game once and for all, and unfortunately I don't think Alvin has mustered enough forces to stop this. Because right now we get to see lots of Guardian. Oh, on top of that we see a Cryocopter. So this is a mighty tier 2 army of allies. And yeah, you can't release it.
Somebody protect us!
Incredible play, really. I mean, I'm speechless in a matter of seconds. That MCV snipe perhaps faster than a Natasha for going for the pilot snipe. Like, he just yoinked this. I will be pissed off if that happened to me. Alright, I think he realized that he lost MC for absolutely nothing. But guys, that was a very time frame moment, but Andre knows that when you shrink the MCV or any kind of unit, they will move closer to the previous order. So for example, if you have a bigger unit, it will like a little bit further, so it will go exactly the place you want to go. But now what he did is actually like shrinking it, so it will move forward, also simultaneously moving the Guardian tank in the same phase that MCV is going forward, and it's just as if like placing the puzzle pieces. Just crash the MCV, like it's absolutely nothing, and has secured himself to win. So GG for him, and better luck next game for the Alvin. So let's see. Let's see how far they're going to go in Cabana Republic. So that's the biggest, let's say, the threat of the allies. For example, when you invest fully, especially on the tier 2 and 3, allies just become unstoppable in different sense. The only thing is they are over-reliant on cryocopters, by the way. I mean, Mirage tanks are strong, but they are the glass cannons of the game. So basically, without cryo support, they just can't do anything properly. They will always lose any kind of combat against like Kingoni and Apocalypse counterparts. So they have the mobility for sure. But Kingonis are quite fast. I mean, not the fastest unit, but they are fast. And the Apox, even though they are very slow, they can always use a lift from the Tomb Blades, and that is, for the most of the time, how they are used. Also, Alvin is not disrespecting Final Boss in a very rude fashion, going for a 3 refinery opening. I mean, if you know Final Boss by enemies, the chances are really high. In 10 seconds, oh no. Oh no. Dry rush incoming, guys. So I was going to say he can easily unpack his MCB, move it over here, park it, unpack over here, and just threat rush you. So your response against this cry rush against the defender corvette, that's actually not so hot. What am I going to do in here? And I'm probably just going to spot that. Cryocopter is already out. Like we are not even 10 seconds yet. Some more power plants. That's actually nice. So 2 of the refiners are completely unguarded. Other defender core is getting out, but well, that's. So here's the thing: you get to adapt everything. This instant generator is now exposed. This one is also exposed. So, what makes you think that defender cores were going to save you? The only solace right now that Alvin has technically sitting on 4 refinery opening. Even though he loses this collector, he will be still mining good amount of ore. Thanks to Derek's as well. But now he will... Alright, this is nice actually, going for the generator over here. But why is he getting tank busted? Now Alvin, this is it or not. Oh, hello there. So when did you move your MCV over here? I was watching your cryo shenanigans. Okay, MCV has been unpacked. Sell the generator fraps. Get yourself a nice cash boost, you know. Get yourself a cash boost. Okay, so you don't really want a cash boost. Alvin is panicking or something. I don't know. I don't think he knows what he's doing. Okay, this is technically over because the moment this peacekeeper gets in here, all of the infantry gets shredded. Don't believe me? Just watch. I think that is what Alvin's going to do because he doesn't have a mecha bay, so he doesn't have the means of countering this army. Right, just watch. Well, this dude's right. Also, what is actually happening over here? Like, so many infantry has been poured down, but shouldn't you be more focused over here? Maybe just escort your dojos over here. I mean, even if you do so, like 3 multi-gunners, there's no way getting past over here. So, when the power plant is out of your reach, so your only best bet is taking these 2 power plants. If you could do that, that would be great. Now, great that you made it here so far, but what is that going to achieve for you? Now, Ore Refiner is under severe flak. I think it's going to be taken down very soon now. At last moment, grace of the save. Even Mecha Bay is in the radius of the multi-cannon turret. You know how the things are going to be difficult that much. Well, Alvin, I don't know why you really tried that 3 refinery build, but I hope you get what you're planning for. Hey, Defender VX is now targeting the multi-gunner truck, but as you can see, the constant difference between 2 base defenses. Unfortunately, Defender VX falls very short. And Mika Bay is on offline. Tank busters are dead from the one Tengu, so that's good. Also, I want... okay, so there were the cryocopter. I was asking, like, where is the cryocopter? Now, Alvin's base is completely decimated. There he is, his MCV, but he has nothing, so I think Andre could easily fetch the cryocopter on top of here. So, after freezing it, pulling it down. Now, Alvin is trying to do something with his remaining all the infantry, but I mean, this base is so forfeit, Andre doesn't even care and try to move over here. A cryocopter is now over here. MCV, oh, this is... Cryo shot has been used in here to boost freeze. Alvin, I mean, there is no shame in admitting the defeat. Step out and that should be it. Bombs are being dropped. Alvin is still steadily getting some units himself. Even so, no tank buster made it alive here. Oh, it's even frozen during mid-animation of unpacking. He's no longer producing units. Oh, he's attacking with the ore collector. Well, thanks to the splash damage. Okay, so I have to say that was a very bold move of trying to go for a 3 refinery opening against this caliber of a player, but again, that would be very insane if that paid off. But I really didn't believe that would pay off. And like as you can see, for example, Andre immediately goes scouting for, even though he is going for a dedicated cryo rush build. He even scouted his opponent. I really didn't see the same kind of a dedication coming from the Alvin. I think I'm going to see. Guys? Oh, I didn't mute my microphone. I'll take that. So now we are on the battle-based beta. So let's see how the things are going to unfold in terms of the Alante. Again, final boss, blue allies, many kind of allies plays, turret push, cryo rush, cryocopter rush, or like for example, balance build, tier 2 push, infantry push, tier 3 late game throwing, super weapon game, or anything like that. This guy is like a full of box that you can nearly expect what is going to unfold or show to us. On the meantime, Alvin is hopefully will go for 2 refinery builds, because from the looks of it, the amount of the dojo cores he get, I don't think he can spare some cash for the 3rd refinery, which is nice if you ask me. And also Andre is starting with barracks instead of any kind of quick airfield and taking down these pesky garrisons that can be used by Imperial infantry. Now dojo core is making on the top of the hill, which is nice, and garrisons are now taken down. As a captured by the Alvin's massive horde of infantry. Now he gets a handful of them, but he's going back now. This garrison point is still enabled to open, so you can deal some damage over this oil derrick. Now, as you can expect, this much of javelins can only mean one thing. We're going to see some ripjaw. And oh boy, and really exacting his anger over these garrisons. Like almost all garrisons in his own base rendered useless. So 2 riptides, well, let's say 2 ripjaws are heading straight deep into the base of the Alvin. So, I mean, nice. Oil derrick is going to be taken down. Mecha Bay is also online as well. That's actually great, but well, here's the trouble. This garrison is usually a very good spot for any kind of ripjaw garrison point, and I'm afraid Andre is directly going for that one. Now I think, okay, he is making a tactical retreat, I guess. Okay, he's waiting the body. Also, how come these Imperial warriors can't detect this one? But Andre is keeping taking down the garrisons. The one garrison is down again. Tank busters are trying to get into here. I wonder. So who is outranging who here? I really don't know, but I'm really careless. Now, alright, so this. Now, Andre also has some polos here. Protect himself while doing the push, I guess. Alvin. Okay, so that's nice. Getting 2 of the garrisons. Immediately clearing out the garrisons, so that's something entirely. Tank busters are getting produced, but again, numbers of the peacekeepers are healthy. And see how far the harassment is going. Not the best way. Now alright, one Tengu goes down, the second fortunately goes in as well, and these Tengus can't do anything at this point. On the meantime, Tank Busters sniping one of the Riptides, that's actually nice. Andre is now garrisoning all of his peacekeepers out of the field. Try to deal some damage on these Tank Busters, I suppose. Imperial Warriors are in the base. They could do actually a good amount of damage to this power plant, perhaps. Oh, this Vindicator is going to get sniped. I think Andre is way too busy with something else here. Oh, All right, that's nice, but toggle them back. Oh no, I think Alvin is going to win this one because oh my lord, what? Oh no, two Imperial Warriors. And they unfortunately the drones healing the damage they do. Two turrets are actually more than enough to deal some damage over here. And also, okay, so it's fine. Now, since all of the units are dealt with, I think you can use some air support. But MC is out and open, completely exposed. So I wonder how it is. Oh no! You will definitely need some air support, that's for sure. And air support, Apollos have arrived. That's nice, actually. Now, Slummy tanks can really move in, can really move out, but numbers are slightly increasing. That's something. So Vindicator is being called out. Ooh, that was insane sniping. Two of the Slummy tanks by just split bomb. Once again, numbers got dwindled by itself. Now, Alvin is draw some focus fire of the turret, but now going back. Very oddly placement of the, I must confess, airfield. Now, I mean, come on, that's a bit rude. I mean, this airfield is literally parking on your base and scouting what you have in here. Now, point defensors have been used. All of this lightning effects, I really thought that cryoblast is going, cryoshot is being used, but I really can't understand. I didn't say it until we saw the beam or the freeze coming right up. This engineer's running like, okay, I want to get this airfield right now, but fortunately too late. And Alvin is getting dismantled slowly once again. Venom quiet once again. It's fortunate game, but now this airfield is defended incredibly high with the 2 and more incoming penetrate for the 3. Now all of these tsunami tanks that exiting the Mecha Bay is going to suffer. Can't even make it the next to the airfield. Like this airfield getting untouchable status. Another tsunami tank, another misfortune. Even Andre is showing courtesy to still bomb migrate. He could actually just go for attack movement and take down the tsunami tanks. Now the last tsunami tank and only Winston generator left in this game. So GG for the Andre. Final boss reclaims his throne once again, being uncontested, not even losing a single game. So congratulations for him and better luck next time for the Alvin. So maybe next time, I mean maybe next series or anything like that, he will get a score for it. But for now, the final boss remains uncontested. GG for him. So guys, that was the Pharaoh Leather Wars. So I hope you enjoyed the games as well. I must confess, I expected a little more from the Alvin, but with the third refinery, we can easily say we actually get to see 2 games instead of the 3, because that was like a little bit of a foreshadowing, if you get what I mean. But anyway, that was it. So if you liked it, feel free to leave a comment and also leave a like. That makes me happy as well. And consider subscribing. I mean, we are almost close for the 100. If so, when we get to 100, I am thinking of doing a Red Dead 3 video, but in a very different format. So, but that will take a lot of times. I can easily say that. I estimate something like around a week because I will require script. I have no experience about scripting. I have no experience, that much of experience about the video editing, but I'll see what I can do. But I have such plans. But until then, take care, guys.